Hi, I'm Vicki Sanfelipo, aka Spitfire, and I'm going to talk to you today about fitting your motorcycle properly. As a 5'1" female, sometimes motorcycles are just not built for my short stature. So there are things that I'm always thinking about as I'm considering riding a motorcycle. And this is a good example right here of a motorcycle that would not fit me. The person who owns this motorcycle is 6'5". So it is built and set up for his comfort, not mine. For instance, I'm sitting back here on the seat and you can see that my leg is bent, which is a good thing. It is right against the pipes. That would be a bad thing if the motorcycle was running in hot. So when I get this motorcycle up off the kickstand, it's pretty easy to do. Sometimes the motorcycles are pretty high up and that makes it difficult. But this one is nice and low to the ground. Now, as far as grabbing hold of the handlebars, now that I've got the wheel straight, I'm able to hang on to these handlebars pretty good. And even when I sit in the back in the seat where it would be more comfortable, I've got quite a reach here. There's no bend in my arms at all. So when I would go to turn the handlebars, you can see that I've got quite a stretch going on, and I'm even sliding forward in the seat to be able to do that. Now, one of the things that has been done to this motorcycle that makes it possible for me at all to be able to do this is the fact that with these handlebars is a built-in riser. Now, the riser is what brings the handlebars from this plate right here called the triple tree, and it brings it back to the handlebars. For some handlebars, you can add risers to bring them closer to you. In this case, the risers are built in. Now, the other thing that I would be looking at is the foot pegs. And is there a stretch for me to be able to put my foot on the foot pegs? You can see here I can get my toe on here, but I can't even reach it with my heel. So this would be a little bit difficult for me to ride any distance because it would be uncomfortable. Now I'm going to take you over to this sweet bike. It's a 1948 Panhead, and you can see that this one fits me just right. Now my foot here on this foot peg, there's a nice little bend in my knee, a nice bend when I'm sitting here, and I can reach the handlebars very easily, and I can turn the handlebars fully in either direction. This one also has a built-in riser, and there's no adjustment for the handlebars. They are where they are. One of the other things that I look for is where are the controls. What I would be wanting to do is to move my controls up so that I can reach them easier. This control happens to be kind of on the other side of the handlebar, and that would put me into an awkward position. In order to adjust that, there's just a couple of screws here on this handlebar mount, which is what mounts the brake reservoir and the mirror and all the controls. So you just loosen that up and you can adjust this and it would be much more comfortable. Now I'm going to move to another motorcycle, and this one is going to be perfect because this is the one that has already been adjusted for me. 1993 Fat Boy. Now with this one you can see a nice bend in the leg. You can see that the handlebars come back to me. There's a nice bend in my arm. I've got the handlebar controls where I put my hand out and it's automatically right here sitting on the controls. Then we've got the shifter peg on this side of the motorcycle, and I wore my motocross boots to show you that when you shift, you're going to shift one down and then you're going to use your heel shifter to be able to lift up. Without that heel shifter, I'd have a hard time getting my toe underneath here to be able to lift this up and shift. So in order to adjust that, what I would do is I would remove these screws, I would pry the heel shifter and the toe shifter off of here, and then I would put it back on. It has some like gears or splines, and I would just put it back on, elevate it up a little bit so that I could get my toe underneath. Then you put the screws back in and you're good to go. So not a hard adjustment at all. Now if I were to adjust my handlebars, like let's say I wanted my handlebars to be up a little bit higher, all I have to do there is undo these screws, just loosen them again. You don't have to take them all the way out. Loosen them enough so that you can move these handlebars up or down and then secure it again. It's best done with a second person so that you can kind of hold the handlebars in the position you want and they can secure that. The last motorcycle I'm going to go to is this one right here. It's my it's my 2008, my 2008 Street Glide. And this motorcycle has also been altered from original. When I got it from the factory, it had a seat that had way too much cushioning on it. Now you might think more cushion is better, but that's not necessarily the case. When you have your legs down and you're stopped, you don't want a lot of cushion here on the inside. It just gives you a wider stance. And when you are sitting on the motorcycle and you're riding it, your legs are up. So you really don't need cushion where your thighs are. And what I did was I had a guy shave all this foam off of the sides of the motorcycle seat, and then I had him hollow this out and make this a little bit lower, but put a gel pad in here. So I still have all the comfort I had before, but the seat fits me much better. I'm going to show you that the bike looks really big, but when I get on here and I sit, you can see that I still have a bend in my knee. Now, when I take the motorcycle into an upright position, you can see that that bend becomes very important, particularly as I'm going to move this motorcycle backward or forward. The more you're on your tippy toes, the less oomph you have to be able to push things backward or forward. I have my hand controls in the perfect place, and this one would be much harder to adjust. Hand controls, yes, you could adjust on the handlebars, but as far as bringing your handlebars up or down, that has to be done by taking the front fairing off, and is best done by a professional or somebody who knows what they're doing. Not too easy to get to those handlebars. As far as the foot adjustments, same thing I just showed you. If you need to adjust a shifter pedal, very easy to do. So with that, there are many things you can do to fit your own motorcycle. This is Spitfire with Road Guardians and also shooting for Behind the Handlebars.